Hi, everybody. It's Dan here. Tonight, I'd like to tell you something I've learned about metabolic syndrome. I finally understand what metabolic syndrome is. I've been thinking about this and watching lots of documentaries on YouTube and reading lots of articles on the internet. And I'm telling you, I understand it now. You're going to get it. And I don't care who you are. There are very few people on the planet that understand this. It's almost very few people. Most doctors, I cannot find a single, except for one doctor, I cannot find a single lecture on any platform that talks about this. And I'm going to tell you what metabolic syndrome is. Okay, first of all, metabolic syndrome is not a disease per se. It's not a disease. What it is a natural reaction that's created by fructose consumption to prepare animals to face starvation. That's what it is. It's good in an evolutionary context. We evolved to go into that state to help us survive the winter, to help us survive a lack of food. That's what metabolic syndrome is. It's a disease, but it's only disease because we're eating sugar all the time without going hungry, and that's what's making us sick. This is not my idea. I got it from Dr. Richard Johnson. He wrote a book called The Fat Switch, where he talks about how fructose consumption activates a biologic pathway that causes animals to go into metabolic syndrome and gain weight. And it's natural. I made another video about this a couple of years ago talking about this, so you can check that out if you like. But metabolic syndrome, what it's doing is preparing animals to survive the winter because there's no food in the winter for a lot of animals. Starvation is a big deal, like I explained before. So when people eat fruits or sugar, which is in fruit, it causes you to gain weight. And it causes you to eat more, and it causes you to insulin resistance and all the problems that help you survive a famine, which it thinks is happening to you. And insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome have saved trillions of lives, like I said in the other video. And that's the reason why fasting is been pushed and is a huge fad because of Jason Fung and his minions talking about it constantly. People don't understand what fasting's about. Fasting is mimicking starvation. And the reason why it works for metabolic syndrome is because metabolic syndrome is designed to help you survive a famine, and fasting is simulating a famine. That's why they work so well together. They go hand in hand. Fasting is only good for people that are sick, and that's what Fung recognized. He recognized that people that had metabolic syndrome, when they started to fast, they got healthy. Yes, of course they got healthy because they're mimicking nature, a natural process, which is gaining weight to keep from starving during the winter. It's a natural process, and nobody understands this except for Dr. Johnson. No one understands this. Metabolic syndrome and fasting is the same as gaining weight to survive the winter, and fructose is the main contributor. It has to be. It's the only possibility. People are saying vegetable oils and carbohydrates are causing it, but look, if it was just vegetable oils caused obesity and metabolic syndrome, then how come all the kings back in the 1500s till today that could afford sugar when the regular people couldn't afford it? How come they all got metabolic syndrome and got sick and had heart disease and were obese and had gout? It's because they were eating sugar. They could afford sugar and they got addicted to the sugar. That's what happened. And vegetable oils didn't exist. And also, why is it that that being overweight goes hand in hand with diabetes and diseases that countries have that only eat sugar? If it was carbohydrates only, then there would be no societies who ate carbohydrates who were healthy. But there's all kinds of societies. The Japanese, there's plenty of examples of societies of people who eat carbohydrates that don't get sick. What's the difference between them and the people that do? They don't eat sugar. Japanese people never ate sugar. They just ate rice, and they didn't get any problems. They didn't have any problems until they added sugar to their diets. is when they got sick. And there are no societies that have diabetes problems that don't eat fructose. They don't exist. I can't find them. If you can find them, let me know. And also, on the other hand, there are no societies that don't eat fructose at all that get diabetes, type 2 diabetes. They don't exist, period. I mean, the evidence is extremely strong, and it's natural, and it's common sense. And it has to be true. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know where my logical flaws are and prove it to me, because I want to know. If I'm wrong, I want to know. I want you to tell me. But I'm convinced metabolic syndrome is caused by fructose. It has to be. I'll link Dr. Johnson's lecture to this video so you can watch it. He proves it. It's proven. And he even says so. He says, it's proven. Fructose causes metabolic syndrome. And he says, he looks forward to anyone who wants to argue about it. So I believe it's true. And hopefully we can convince the low-carb community that fructose is the real cause of metabolic syndrome. All right, guys, hope you liked the video. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.